You support farms in UAE and in India. Could you explain the process that farmers undergo to obtain this organic certification for their farms?
With the recent research, it is one grain which really helps reverse your lifestyle ailments, whatever you may be plagued with. Like literally, it helps in your. One of the customer goes on to say that she has seen visible difference in the immunity levels of her children and her family. So wherein she feels very empowered after having consuming the organic food.
I was doing some research, and it is said that the nutrients in the crops right now, because of lacking nutrients in the soil, today, if we had to have vitamin C from one orange during our grandparents' age, probably we ate one orange and that should be sufficient. But now, if we had to get that vitamin C, we have to have the nutrient level in the soil is just going on depleting, and seems like by 2050 we might just. I started eating millets only after your workshop.
I think we were the first ones to bring all the 5 positive millets which are prevalent in the
Yes.
world. Many people just know about the jowar and the bajra,
Yeah.
but then there are many more. So we have, if an individual independent organic farmer has to go and get a certification for his piece of land, this is the question the consumer has to really ask, that the cost of a cheaper grocery is your health. You are losing your body, you're losing your health, you're losing your mental peace, and you're losing your time with the family. The autoimmune condition has become so common these days.
So common. Yeah.
It's become a common word.
I mean, it's not that I'm very young, but still, I have so many autoimmune conditions like thyroid and knee problems. The doctor is also surprised, like, at this age, why do you have knee problems?
So autoimmune is basically where your body is, and you don't know what is causing that. And this is where it is very important for the consumer to wake up and understand. You cannot say you don't know, but you need to take control. And one of the most important factor for a body is piece of advice for the consumers and the customers who are thinking about organic is, think about it in a bigger picture. It's not only going to contribute to your health, for your healthier generation. You will be able to bring up healthier kids, healthier families, which in turn will contribute to a better economy, which in turn will contribute to a better environment. And the moment you have a much more safer and a better environment, you'll be able to. And I think to come down to the basic budgeting in the families when they're doing, look at this as an investment. Food is an investment. Food is not a commodity. Food is life. The most important factor why organic food is better than conventional is the eco-friendliness. So it promotes the natural farming practices. In turn, they promote a
soil is the biggest carbon sink. So only by organic farming we can bring back those.
So they are in fact the crops which aid in the crop rotation to make the soil richer.
I think that's why it aids in environmental conservation as well, right? Because rice is a very thirsty crop. It needs a lot of water. Now I think the audience will also get to know that the price is justified. That's always an argument, that organic food is so expensive. Treat
organic grocery as an insurance premium for your health. One of the factors which I strongly feel we can control is by controlling the food that we eat, because that is the first thing which is fueling our body. And it doesn't just fuel our body, it also fuels.
Hey everyone, what if I told you that the food you think is healthy might actually be harming your family? In today's episode, you'll learn exactly how to read organic labels, which foods to buy first when you're on a budget, and simple ways to support farmers who are actually growing clean food for us. You'll finally understand what organic certification really means and feel confident making the right choices for your family's health. I'm chatting with Ashwini Harish, a former chartered accountant who is now the founder of Rootz Organics. She is helping thousands of families access real organic food and supporting farmers who are doing things the right way. Her journey from corporate life to becoming a passionate advocate for clean eating is absolutely incredible, and she shares such practical advice that anyone can follow. This conversation will change how you shop for groceries and give you the confidence to invest in your family's health. So let's get into the conversation. Hi Ashwini. I'm so thrilled to have you join me on the Eco Shiros podcast.
Thank you, Pallavi.
Ashwini, to start with, can you please introduce yourself a bit and also let us know what inspired you to establish Roots Organics and how does your mission align with promoting a healthier lifestyle?
So, firstly, thanks, Pallavi. It's really nice to be on your podcast. You're definitely doing a commendable job to bring sustainable concept much more easier and accessible to the world.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Namaste. This is Ashwini Harish. I'm founder of Rootz Organics. Rootz Organics is an e-commerce online store based in the UAE, and we offer more than 2,500 products, which are hand-picked, ensuring that they fit the parameters of organic and sustainable. And we do deliveries all over UAE. And we also have launched our operations a year back in India. So we are also a e-commerce pan-India store in India where we offer a similar product range. So that's about our company. And Pallavi, to talk about what really inspired me to start Roots Organics is a very, very simple mission. My mission was to enable availability of clean, organic, healthy food to all the mothers and the families. It was very similar to where I faced issues when my daughter was born and when my son was born. I really didn't feel that we had access to good food, especially in the UAE, which is highly reliant on the imports. I really felt that whenever I looked out for a food which is bursting with life, that particular aspect was missing. So that's exactly where I just took a leap of faith to kind of make it accessible to all the mothers like me, wherein they feel empowered to build healthier families. So
Lovely.
that was the very simple mission that I had. So I think that's what drove me, and experience didn't really matter. I wouldn't say it was a very smooth journey, but a very guided journey, I would say, because it was a calling, is what I really felt, and every day was a new step for me. And yeah, it's been a great journey till date.
So you said, to bring wellness, health. So why is organic food considered better for health compared to conventionally grown food? I am a big proponent of organic food, but you being the expert would love to know. And can you explain the specific health benefits? So that will really empower the audience to think of organic food. And if you can share any of your customer story who benefited from this switch.
Yeah.
Too many
So
questions in
definitely,
one.
yeah, definitely organic food is much better compared to the conventional food. So if I have to like break it down point by point,
Mm.
in terms of the nutrient richness, organic food any day is much higher in compared to the conventional food because the vitamins and the minerals and the various essential nutrients are much more powerful simply because organic food has been grown using the most natural methods and practices like the crop rotation and the zero chemicals and zero fertilizers which are being used. So in terms of nutrient richness, the organic food is definitely much higher. And the second benefit, the way I look at it, is that it's better taste.
True.
You literally, there are reports and customers who have reported that they experience better taste when they have eaten organic vegetables or fruits and grains. I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
you're one of them, right? So because it's been grown in the most natural way, it
Mm.
retains its flavors and it's very flavorful. So definitely better taste is one of the parameters why organic food is better than the conventional food. And another thing, the most important factor why organic food is better than conventional is the eco-friendliness. So
Mm.
it promotes the natural farming practices. In turn, they promote a much richer soil. And
Mm.
when soil gets richer, it contributes to the better environment, better freshness, and better environmental regeneration. So I think this is another very important factor which organic farming is able to bring about in the world. And last but not the least, it is safe for the families, it's safe for the children, it is safe for you. simply because it's been grown without using any synthetic pesticides, chemicals, fertilizers. It's toxin free, especially in the current world where I think toxins are everywhere. Toxins are there in the regular conventional food. There's toxic environment, even in the way the behavioral the toxin which is around surrounding the world, and a lot of things. We are always surrounded by toxicated environment, right? So I think this particular food really ensures that at least the food that we eat is toxin free, especially for children who are very sensitive to the toxins these days. You must have heard a lot that the eczema, the cases of eczema, the cases of obesity, the cases of early cancer in young children is increasing. And
Yeah.
this is all due to the toxins present in the environment in different ways. And the one of the factors which I strongly feel we can control is by controlling the food that we eat, because that is the first thing which is fueling our body. And it doesn't just fuel our body, it also fuels our mind and how we behave, because food has an energy in itself, right? And when you are consuming food with high energy and high potency, then automatically your body structure will be in a much better state
Mm.
than the food which is is toxicated. So these are the various factors why we really feel that organic food is much better. And in terms of the success stories, I think I've been consuming organic ever since I started my journey. The moment I got hold of the organic food in my home, even today, everything, whatever is possible is organic.
Wow.
And in addition to that, we have our own customers who have, you do please go check out our Google reviews. We have very beautiful, very warm testimonials from the customers, where one of the customer goes on to say that she has seen visible difference in the immunity levels of her children and her family. So wherein she feels very empowered after having consuming the organic food. So I think that's one of the best testimonials, I must say.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we have another customer wherein they speak about specifics, wherein they talk about how they were not able to enjoy the rotis, the breads
Mm.
earlier. And when they switched to the organic flours, they're now able to enjoy their breads and their rotis comfortably without really feeling bloated or
Oh,
uneasy. So we
yeah.
have we have specific testimonials like that, and there are a lot of these superfoods which are naturally organic. Like you have this Moringa powder, the Amla powder. These are so high in antioxidants, like
Mm.
because they are so natural and so organic, they're so high on antioxidants. They specifically support your body to combat the free radicals in the body. So, like these are the very specific examples and specific people experiences where it is proven that organic food is definitely better than the conventional food. It is just about you making up your mind. So,
Absolutely. That's wonderful. And you said organic moringa is naturally organic and even amla. So does it mean that it doesn't need any such pesticides or fertilizers to grow?
yeah. So I think these particular trees, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they grow in a very independent environment, unlike
Okay.
the crops and the grains or the daily regular vegetables and fruits that we consume on a daily basis, which requires daily cultivation, right? So these
Right.
trees, especially, they grow very independently in an independent
Mm-hmm.
environment. So, and of course, when they are grown in the organic fields, they act as one of the supporters for one of the crop rotation, right? So they are one of the trees which are supporting the organic farming culture. So they
Wow.
are independently, naturally very rich. And these are few of those superfoods which doesn't really need any specific attention, but they are naturally very high in antioxidants. So yeah.
Wonderful. And yeah, you rightly said nutrients. Like I was doing some research, and it is said that the nutrients in the crops right now, because of lacking nutrients in the soil, today, if we had to have vitamin C from one orange, during our grandparents' age, probably we ate one orange and that should be sufficient. But now, if we had to get that vitamin C, we have to have 11 oranges. So
Correct.
the nutrient level in the soil is just going on depleting, and seems like by 2050 we might just run out of food. So it's
Yeah.
quite a scary situation. So organic food is definitely needed, and that's true. Even I am a happy customer of Roots Organics, and yeah, I can very well notice the difference between the taste of an organic dal and a polished, it's been a
Yeah.
long time since even I have stopped eating. I've started eating only organic food as much as possible, but recently there was no stock, I guess, of some dal. So I got, the normal conventional dal. And I could really notice such a big difference because I've been eating
Yeah.
organic for so long. I think my taste buds, have got used to that taste. But there was such a stark difference. I just did not like that. I was waiting for the new stock to arrive. And
Yeah.
yeah, it really makes a big difference. That is true.
Definitely, Pallavi. So I think the nutrients and the taste speak for themselves. So it
Yes.
comes through in the way you feel about it, you know. So, and I think especially people who have experienced it, they can vouch for it in a
Yeah,
very confident way.
true.
So yeah, so this is how it makes it much better.
And yeah, it definitely helps the environment because it seems the soil is the biggest carbon sink. So only by organic farming we can bring back those microorganisms into the soil which will absorb the
Yes, so
carbon
it's
again.
the whole soil structure changes when you're following the normal organic farming practices, like you're doing the crop rotation, you're
Yeah.
not using any synthetic fertilizers or pesticides, you're not using any growth hormones. So that when by improving the soil structure, it improves the water retention in the soil. And
Yes.
that in turn kind of really helps the microbial activity to improve. So I
Hmm.
think these are the various things which really help the environment, right? And it kind of, and the same freshness gets into the air, and then the air is less polluted. So and
Absolutely.
that really helps in, like us humans breathe fresher air and actually feel the experience, and it boosts the energy when the air is fresh. And when the soil is fresh, it really boosts your mood, it boosts your energy levels, and it just happens naturally. So there's a strong science behind it, but yes, you once you experience it is when you will know it.
Absolutely. Totally agree. So, you support farms in UAE and in India. So, could you explain the process that farmers undergo to obtain this organic certification for their farms? And my next question was that how can consumers verify the authenticity of organic certifications when purchasing the products? But yeah, first you could go with how do these
Yeah.
farms, get these certifications?
So there are various certifying bodies
Hmm.
which have taken up the responsibility of checking the soil. So firstly, before going to the authorities, the process involves a lengthy process in which the organic soil is cultivated, right? It's
Hmm.
a 3-year process where the farmers have to ensure that they are not using anything artificial, they are not using any growth hormones or synthetic pesticides or any kind of easy, convenient ways of enriching the soil. So it's a process, and there are various certifying bodies like we have this authority called SGS Organic, and then
Hmm.
we have NPOP Organics, and then we have the Aditi Organics, which is in India. And apart from that, we have authorities like the USDA, which comes from the US, and then we have the EcoCert, then we have the One Cert. So these are the various, and there are a couple of organic authorities coming from Korea, from Japan. So each country has its own certifying body,
Hmm.
and the process what the farmers have to follow to get the organic certification is that it takes about 3 years
Okay.
to
Hmm.
restructure the whole soil.
Okay.
And how they do it is by ensuring that they are doing crop rotation, they are using the most natural ways to ensure that the crops which are growing during that process are not when they get infested, they are not being sprayed by chemicals or fertilizer, and the fertilizers which they are using is the most natural one. They follow methods like the natural composting method, where
Nice.
they do the natural compost, they by using the dried leaves and the various microorganisms, and then that is fed into the soil and then there it's mixed with the soil and to allow the soil to restructure. And it's a lengthy process that is being followed by the farmers. And on this note, I would like you to know that it is never about a huge piece of land which
Mm-hmm.
is organically certified.
Okay.
Because I think, especially in India, we have gone through industrialization already, right?
Yeah.
So a major portion of the land is already played with. It's lost its natural richness, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what is happening is it's in the pockets of land which are being certified organic, and
Okay.
all these authorities, they work with the FPOs. So because it's physically not possible to, it's not that it's not possible, but it's very, very tedious
Hmm.
to go line by line. So what has happened is there are a lot of these FPOs which have come about, which
Okay.
are supporting the smaller organic farmers. So
Okay.
FPOs is a bigger organization which
Mm-hmm.
invites a lot of organic farmers to join hands with them.
Okay.
And the authorities, the organic authorities, work with these FPOs to give certification to these various small pieces of land. And
Okay.
in turn, what these FPOs do is they actually train the farmers, educate them in terms of how to make the soil organic and what are the various farming practices to be followed and what are the kind of seeds to be fed into the soil to grow organic feed. So these are the various things which the FPOs take up as their responsibility. And we work with those FPOs. And
Lovely.
we literally work with them. We literally go with them and we visit the organic farmers. So it's a piece by piece that comes together and then eventually comes to the market. So the process is very simple. It takes about 3 to 4 years. And
Mm-hmm.
there are a set of standards to be followed. So when the certifying bodies come to certify a piece of land as organic, there are certain set parameters. The parameters could include that there is no synthetic pesticide which is being used, and what is the frequency of feeding the soil with the natural compost, and what kind of crop rotation is happening, and then and in terms of whether the records are being maintained properly or not. And what are the measures which are taken when any particular crop is infested, whether
Mm-hmm.
they are following the natural ways of treating
Mm-hmm.
the pesticides or not. So there are various parameters and various record maintenance that is being followed strictly, and it's an annual process. So the certification is valid only for a year. It is
Okay.
not valid forever. So
Okay.
every year the fields have to undergo a test. In addition to the annual testing and auditing, there are also certain surprise tests that happen by the authorities. So
Okay.
this is like the standard procedure which is being followed, and they will find different farms at different stages and different at a different stages of certification. So this is the standard process which is being followed. But having said that, uh, I think end of the day, personally, you have to go and check whether the actually farming practice is being done or not. And I think once you visit, that's what we do. We go and visit the farms to check whether it's authentically followed or not. And that itself is the biggest check to see whether what are the practices the farmers are following to ensure that it's organic. So this is
Wonderful.
the various things which involve in getting the organic certification. And I think in terms of in India, so these are the various authorities which are the certifying bodies. And in UAE, we have just one body called ESMA. It is
Yeah.
the Emirates Authority Standardization and Metrology, so which goes out to the farms and ensure that the soil is organic and they certify. And of course, they also have set of parameters which they have to follow, and that's how the organic farms get certified. So, and in it's not only the crops; they also kind of look at the live feed. They look at the cattle feed. They look at the cattle's. So everything is kind of checked to ensure that the most natural organic farming practices are being followed, and that's how they get certified. So
Yeah.
I think for me personally, when I started my journey, of course, the organic certification was one of the most important criteria.
Hmm.
But I somehow always feel that it's also the people who we're really working with. So, like you are one of the eco heroes, which I know that you're very passionate about. So, and I think when you meet the person, when you meet the people, you'll know whether they're really driven by this one purpose or not. I think for me, more than the certificate, I think it's the people who I work with really matters. And
Yeah.
I somehow go with that first criteria, and then of course comes various other criterias.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
True,
So I
true.
think that's this is the very simple steps how they what they follow. I
Uh,
hope I answered all your questions. If there's anything I missed, please
yeah,
reiterate.
yeah. No, definitely. Yeah, that's you raised a very good point that it takes 3 years. It's not that, because the soil takes time to build its organic matter,
Yeah.
right? So it's only through 3 years of continuous organic farming the farmers get this certification.
Yeah.
And you said FPO. What does FPO mean? Just
So
I'm
Farmers Produce Organization. FPO
okay.
stands for Farmers Produce Organization. So
Mm,
these FPOs have cropped up in the past 5 to 6 years approximately. So wherein there are a lot of these passionate individuals again who
mm,
have come about, joined hands because see the you know very well the state of agriculture, right? So
yeah,
it's a lengthy process to grow a crop,
absolutely.
to literally sow the seed, to let the crop grow, to harvest it, to clean it, and then it reaches the market, right?
Absolutely.
So there is a lengthy process, and there's a lot of hand holding that the organic farmers feel, especially the organic farmers,
Mm,
the farmers who have decided to do farming as their livelihood. There's a lot
yeah.
of hand holding. So what these FPOs do is that not only they handhold the farmers in adopting the organic farming practices, they also educate them
Mm,
how adopting organic farming practices is going to help their produce, their fields, and also contribute to a better world. So it's a very tedious, lengthy process which the FPOs are undergoing right now, where there are constant training, constant interaction with the farmers to go and tell them, "Ki, this is what you need to do, this is how you need
mm,
to do." They train them in terms of how to pick the seeds, how to use the natural composting methods, how to do the crop rotation, how to, like place, grow which different plants at different places. And so there's a lot of hand holding that these FPOs do.
mm.
And, and there's a really bunch of passionate people
People.
who have dedicated their lives to bring the best produce to the consumers. And I think in my journey, ever since I started my journey, I have met so many such people and who are just working in the background,
Lovely.
and just doing their work. And our job is to bring things from them and bring it to the communities. So these are the FPOs which play a
That's
very important
commendable.
role in the organic field.
And I think they need a lot of patience to make the farmers understand, right? Because, yeah, there is
Yes,
so much at stake for them, for the farmers as well. They're putting
yes.
so much of their money and time.
Absolutely.
So they
So,
are
so
in a
another
hurry.
very important thing that the FPOs do is that so that is where we need so much support from the society.
Mm.
Is FPOs, they commit to the farmers, saying that, listen, I'm going to buy this much produce from you. All
Oh,
right. So there's
okay.
a fixed quantity which is promised at the beginning of the cycle, and the cycle is planned accordingly.
Mm.
And then the FPOs buy from them, and then gets pushed into the market.
Right.
So that's another very beautiful thing in the organic farming that happens, wherein there's a lot of planned, promised volume which is
Yeah.
given to the farmers, which kind of motivate them, saying that, okay, fine, let's just give it a try. And of course, when you explain the benefit of health, benefit to the world, benefit to the environment, of course, people are kind enough to understand and they literally cooperate. So that's another way how the FEOs and FPOs ensure that the farmer is taken care of and the organic farming practice is actually being done with a lot of passion and they're not demotivated at any point in time. So yeah, so
That's
that's how.
really commendable because I think at the end of the day, the farmer will only be motivated if their crop is, sold or if they get revenue
Absolutely,
back for that crop.
absolutely, absolutely
Otherwise, definitely they won't be motivated to grow organic food. Yeah,
correct.
that's a great job they do. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's commendable that you are finding these FPOs and supporting them. It's really,
Yeah, I think so. That's where, Pallavi, it's, honestly speaking, we don't have time to market so much,
yeah,
because
true.
we are so busy doing the real groundwork.
Mm.
You can only take out time to do things, right? So you need to prioritize what you want to do and what you don't want to do. So I guess that's when it's been a challenge that we have not been able to speak a lot, but do the real job because it takes time. It takes
Ab-
time to go find the FPOs, interact with them, directly take the props of them, and then again keep that the whole cycle going, right? So and honestly, it is not just one company. So I work with multiple brands. I think that is where I feel I've been able to make a real difference because it's not just one brand that I work with. I do work with multiple brands, and those multiple brands are the kind of FPOs, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they work with different farmers and farmer groups, and that's how we've been able to have a wider impact and support those organic farms and farmer groups which are not making any noise in terms of marketing, but doing the
Mm.
real job out there. And we're very happy that we are able to bring the products from them and give it to the communities and the end consumer. So I think that is where I feel that it's a very silent process, which has a huge impact, you know?
Absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's how it works with us. So yeah.
Lovely. It's a great, great work you're doing. That's amazing.
So I
And
think in addition to not only educating the farmers, I think for us at Roots, it's about educating the consumer as to
yes,
why you need to have it and what benefits you can get out
yeah,
of it.
yeah, I
And not
know.
only that, how to use the product and how to really use, because people are so used to the standard
Mm.
recipes and the standard lifestyle. To push them out of that standard lifestyle needs more work in terms
Yes,
of educating them and encouraging them. So while the FPOs are doing that job with the farmers, our job is to educate the consumers to adopt a healthier lifestyle. So
absolutely. And I very much, my next question was coming to millets, and I very much remember I first attended your workshop on millets, and I think I have been eating millets. Means my mom used to cook them, but
yeah,
you never notice it, right? Like, oh,
true.
millets as such. Like she used to
Yeah.
make it as a variation to rice, or sometimes frankly, as a child, probably I never liked the jawar ki roti or anything because the texture is a little different. But when I attended your workshop, I was like, oh wow. So millets is a superfood. Like, you never, unless you did not educate people on its benefits, uh, I never knew what it could do to me
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
for my health. Because
Yeah.
yeah, only as you age, I think when you're young,
Understand.
your immunity is much
Yeah.
better, so you can withstand. But as you age, you start encountering a lot of problems, and that's when
True.
you start finding questions. That's what happened to me.
Yeah.
I was very
No,
responsible
absolutely.
with my food, but yeah, through some problems. But yeah, that's a great way. Like, your approach is amazing. You also, I love seeing your reels and how you educate people how to cook with these,
Yeah.
these flowers or the nice recipes which could
Yeah.
easily replace our traditional way of cooking. So yeah,
Right.
it's great. But coming back to millets, I would love to, you to talk more about it. So even
Yeah.
our audience gets to know the superpower
Yeah.
of millets. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think millets is very, very close to my heart. I think
Mm.
my our journey at Roots started definitely with millets. I can proudly and clearly say that I think we were the first one to
Yeah,
bring
I started
all the
eating
five.
millets only after your workshop.
Yeah. So it's like I think we were the first ones to bring all the five positive millets
Mm.
which are prevalent in the
Yes,
world.
yes.
Many people just know about the jowar and the bajra,
Yeah.
and but then there are many more. So we have foxtail millet, we have brown top millet, we have kodo millet, and then we have barnyard millet, and we have the little millet. So and then we have the amaranth, and then we have the buckwheat. So like we have so many varieties of millets, and then millet is a superfood. It's a super grain simply because it is that in that one seed of millet, it's a powerhouse of carbohydrates, it's a
Mm.
powerhouse of proteins, it's a powerhouse of fiber, as well as the essential micronutrients. So it's a pack of all these essential macro and micronutrients in one grain, right? And I think, and millets, with the recent research which has gone around millets, it is one grain which really helps you reverse your lifestyle ailments, whatever you may be
Oh.
plagued with. Like
Mm.
literally, it helps in your weight loss. It helps you manage your diabetes better. It helps you keep fuller. It is rich in fiber, so it helps you keep fuller, and your energy levels are much better. It doesn't make you feel lethargic. The millets, especially if you have experienced eating millets, it doesn't
Yeah.
make you feel lethargic. Instead, it makes you much more energized. So that's the beauty about millets, and they're easily replaceable in our regular diet. So
Mm.
I always encourage people to incorporate millets at least 3 times in a week. Like it
Mm.
could be as simple as a porridge, it could be as simple as a roti, or even in baking, you can use it. The
Yes,
beauty
yes.
of millets is that the millet and the millet flours can be used in baking very comfortably. You just
Mm.
need to add a binding factor. It could be a rice flour, which is a very good binding factor, or
Mm.
it could be even the way you cook. So of course there are a lot of recipes which we need to follow, but so yeah, millets is something which I highly recommend that everybody has to incorporate in their diet and lifestyle from the beginning. And more importantly, educate your children, educate your family about millets from the beginning. So I
Mm.
think in our times, we were not having so much of a external influence.
Yes.
Uh, Whatever in the house they used to cook, we used to eat, and we used to eat. And there was no culture of saying that I don't want to eat this. So I
Yes.
don't think we had that culture where we would
Yeah.
tell our parents, I don't want to eat this. And
Yeah,
even,
you
even
had
if
to
we
eat
did,
it.
even if we did say that, now we had to eat it. But unfortunately, I think now again the times have
Mm.
changed, and the children are there's so much of surplus external
Yes.
food easily available, right? So I
Yeah.
think everything is so easily available. So it's very important to specifically talk about this one particular grain, millet,
Mm.
which is naturally gluten free, which is very high in fiber and extremely nutrient rich. So it's very important to talk about this to our children, educate them, and incorporate it in your lifestyle. So we at Roots, again, I think we are the only one in the region who offers so many varieties of millets in terms of the millet grains, as well as in terms of the millet flours,
Yes.
as well
Yeah.
as the baked products in millets, as well as the wraps. I think whatever you ask for for a
Yeah.
gluten free
I think
based
you
out of
have
millet,
these ragi noodles also, right? Which
the
can
millet
replace a
noodles.
Maggi noodle.
Yeah, we have the millet noodles and we have the millet cookies. So
Yeah.
we have the millet bread, we have the millet
Mm.
sourdough bread. So I think we are definitely one of the large variety of offerings which we have in millets. And yeah, I think millet is something which I highly recommend should be part of everybody's lifestyle. So yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
And yeah, you've made it so accessible and easy to find in
yeah,
one place. So that's a great way.
yeah,
So even millets actually don't require any pesticides or
yeah,
fertilizers, right? It is a naturally, what do you
yes.
say? This is
Yeah,
also a naturally organic crop, yeah?
yeah, it's a very naturally organic crop simply because it grows in the dry climate. So
Okay.
it doesn't need a lot of nurturing, or like it doesn't need a regular farming practice to
Mm.
grow. So they are in fact the crops which aid in the crop rotation to make the soil richer.
Oh,
So
nice.
millets are those crops which actually make the soil richer, and they make the soil stronger, where the water retention is better by the soil because they don't need as much water to grow.
Hmm.
So they are naturally organic, like you rightly said, they are naturally organic simply because they are grown in the dry environment.
Mm. And
So
I think that's why it aids in environmental conservation as well, right? Because rice
yes,
is a very thirsty crop. It needs a lot of
yes.
water. And
So
this can be grown anywhere. Millets can be grown.
absolutely. It can be grown anywhere, and like you rightly said, it's a great substitute for rice.
Mm.
Millets
Yes.
are a very great substitute, and I think by growing the millets, you're automatically contributing to the water retention in the soil, which
Yes.
is required the most because I think now we are experiencing shortage of water as well.
Yes.
But millets are definitely going to contribute to the water retention in the soil. And rice definitely is a water thirsty
Mm.
crop which
Mm.
needs much more water to grow, whereas on the other hand, millets do not need that much water to grow. And rice is just carb and glucose rich. I mean,
Mm.
unless you're eating the whole grain rices, which are
Right.
unpolished, it's
Mm.
generally a carb rich, glucose rich crop.
Yeah.
Whereas it's on the other hand, it's a powerhouse of carbs, proteins, fiber, as well as essential nutrients. So it's a easy replacement for the rice. So
Mm.
not that we would recommend replacing rice all the
Yeah.
time, but then incorporating the millets
Mm.
in your diet will not only help you manage your diet, your lifestyle, your weight in a better way, it will also contribute to the better environmental, better. It will really help the environment to do better. So yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely millets are something which are
Should be
great crops,
incorporated.
which is a must incorporate in
Yeah.
everyone's life.
Yeah,
So
true. And I have noticed that I feel less bloated when I eat millets instead of rice. Rice
yeah,
makes me feel very, I don't know, it feels me bloated and sleepy.
yeah. I think sleepy especially, it makes you really
Yeah.
feel lethargic because the glucose levels spike immediately, right? And especially
Okay.
when you have the rice,
Hmm.
because the sugar, there's a rush. And then it does make you feel very lethargic when you
Hmm.
are consuming only the rice. So rice is great when it's a whole grain, which is unpolished grains like which has bran in it. So that's one of the better ways to have the rice. But when it comes to millets, it's an easy replacement. So you can eat millets like rice. You can
Nice.
mix it with your regular
Yeah,
curry. You can mix it with your salads. You can make
absolutely.
cutlets out of it. You can make the gluten-free dosa batters out of it. So
Yeah.
it's a very easy to add on. And
Correct.
yes, very, very eco-friendly grain
Grain.
because
Yeah.
it really helps improving the soil structure as well as contributes to the biodiversity of the environment.
Only one more question with millet. What is the difference? Even in millets, do they polish and unpolish? Like, what is the difference?
Yes, so a lot of millets when they grow,
Hmm.
right? So they have the natural structure, right?
Okay.
What happens is when it undergoes, there are a lot of companies which are
Hmm.
polishing them off to make
Oh,
while in the process of removing the stones and everything, they're also getting polished. So they are
okay.
not manually removing the stones. Generally,
Okay.
millets come in bulk and it's easy to remove the stones because it's easily, you can sort it very easily. But
Okay.
what happens is there are a lot of companies which put it through a process of cleaning the
Hmm.
stones. And in that process, because the grain itself is so small and
Yeah.
tiny, and it has a
Hmm.
very sensitive, gentle fiber around it, in the process of cleaning, it loses its bran. So
Oh,
that's when it becomes a polished grain. So that
okay.
is the difference. So, so what we do at Roots is that we bring millets which are manually sorted. So there are
Hmm.
traditional manual ways of sorting the grain, right? You can
Okay.
just you must have seen in our olden days there used to be uh,
Yes. A
this
sieve,
what can I say,
right?
a sieve which used to just
Yeah.
kind of tap it up and down and then you have the stones collecting at the
Yes.
top and then you get rid of it, right? So
Hmm.
that's one of the most natural ways of cleaning the millet, if at all, if there's any stones and everything.
Hmm.
But what happens, many companies for easy and quick
Hmm.
requirement, they put it through the processor and the processing
Hmm.
machine, which is pretty hard, which is pretty fast. And in that process, what happens is the millets lose their the upper layer of fiber, and they automatically become polished. Although you may not see much difference, the grain is still there, but
Hmm.
the important part is gone.
Oh.
So I think that is where the difference between polished and unpolished is.
That's very important to know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I because I was like, this is such a small grain. How do you polish it?
Absolutely. Even I had the same question, but then when I saw the how the process works is when I
Hmm.
realized that you cannot notice it,
Yeah.
right? So you definitely
Hmm.
cannot make out the difference. But this is where the difference is, where the source where you bring it from is very important
Great.
because whether
Hmm.
they are following the natural methods of sorting and cleaning the millet or not, or they are using the factory and the machine method of cleaning and sorting or not. And the moment it goes in the machine, it automatically loses its brand. which you
Mm.
can't make out, but it's gone.
It's gone, yeah.
I think we offer absolutely unpolished millets, all of them. And yeah, so that's what we do.
Nice. So you explained how these farmers get their organic certifications for their farms. So what are some of the challenges these farmers face? Of course, you did mention the FPOs are working with the farmers. So probably the FPOs are facing these challenges, probably.
Yeah, I think there are multiple set of challenges that the farmers go through. So one is the tedious process of getting the certification,
Mm.
right? Because it takes about 3 years to get
Yeah.
the certification. That itself is a big challenge, which you have to be really committed to saying that, yes, I will go through this challenge. So that is one of the challenges. And the second one is the cost of the compliance.
Yeah.
That itself is very, very high, you know. If an individual independent organic farmer has to go and get a certification for his piece of land, the cost of compliance for that to be recovered, the return will take maybe more than 10 years, or maybe more than that. Like it
Oh.
is so expensive. That's unfortunately the case right now. So the
Mm.
cost of compliance is one of the major factors which really is a challenge for the farmers. And the third thing is the record keeping. So the
Okay.
compliance authorities come with a set of records to be maintained, certain logs to be maintained, the
Mm.
quality checks to be maintained and record them. So I think this itself is a very lengthy process. So should the farmer focus on
Yeah.
sowing the seed and taking care of the crop and harvesting it or maintaining the record, I think it is one of the challenges which I have kind of seen among the farmers. Not that there is any relief from this process, but yes, this is one of the challenges that the farmer goes through. And I think another thing is the pest management and the weed management itself.
Mm.
Another big challenge because you're practicing the most natural ways of getting rid of the infestation. You use the natural ways, like you use the chili mix and
Neem and
especially,
all?
yeah, the neem is also used. And so these are the natural ways to protect the crop from infestation, right? But that becomes labor intensive
Yeah.
because it takes longer, it takes much more time to ensure that they're following the most natural best ways of managing the pest. So that it becomes very labor intensive.
Mm.
And I think apart from that, the yield itself, so because it's going to take 3 years, right?
Yeah.
At that
Yeah.
time, they are not able to grow as much as they want, and the yield is not much. So the return you are talking about is after 3, 4, 5 years. So that the time period itself is pretty long. So I think that's another big challenge. And so I think these are the multiple challenges which the organic farmers have to be ready for
Mm.
if they really want to get into the organic farming. And I think that's where the FPOs come and say that, okay, do this, and then you'll definitely get this
Yeah.
much what will be taken. So then that's how they get motivated to do it. So I think I had kind of gone through a couple of
Yeah.
challenges which when I was talking to the FPOs. And another major challenge, I think, is the availability of the heirloom seeds, right?
Yes, yes.
That's another very important challenge because when you're trying to grow organic, you also have to get the seeds which are organic, right? Again, you
Yes.
cannot use the seeds which are GMO
Yeah.
or grown with the growth hormones. You can't do that. So sometimes availability becomes a problem. So, and
Problem.
then when the availability becomes a problem, there is not yield, there's not much harvest. And when the harvest is not there, there may
Mm.
be demand for that particular product, but there's no supply. And
Yeah.
when that happens, then the consumer perhaps may switch to another farmer. So
Yeah.
you know like that this the managing the demand and the supply, availability of the right inputs, and that the time consuming, tedious record keeping, and the time period that you have to give to be called organic. So these are the multiple small challenges which the farmers face. And yeah, I mean, I think
So I
these are the
think
things.
the audience will also get to know that the price is justified
Yeah.
because that's always an argument that organic food is so expensive. We can't
Yes.
also.
Yes.
So this
And
is all the challenges that go into growing organic food.
absolutely.
So
Yes,
uh,
and like I said, it's the small pieces of land which are growing it.
mm,
And imagine from those fields to come to one area where they are going to get consolidated, and from that area to reach to the consumer, there's a huge logistic cost which is
yes,
involved.
Yes.
In addition to that, there are also certification costs that are involved. In
Mm.
addition to that, you also have the customs and the clearance
Yes.
and the agencies in between. So it's a huge process, right? It's a
Yeah.
very expensive process, but the worthy process, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I think what the consumers have to really understand is the fact that to bring from that one small piece of land to your home,
Yeah.
there's a lot of price which is being paid, and there's a lot of effort which is being put in, right?
Yes.
So this is what I think the consumers have to really understand, that that is where the organic is expensive than the conventional, because in the conventional practice, everything is grown in bulk,
Bulk. Mm.
everything is packed in bulk, and
And
when
it's all
you're
monocrop, right? Mono
monocrops,
cultivation or something.
yeah, one particular piece of land is growing one
Only
single
one
crop,
crop.
one single
Mm.
crop using the growth hormones,
Yeah.
using the GMO seeds, and using the chemicals and the fertilizers, the artificial fertilizers, which boost the
Growth.
crop,
Yeah.
and the volume is so big that your shipping costs comes down. And
Mm.
that's when it is available for as cheap as maybe 1, 2 dirhams or
Yeah.
whatever. But then at the cost of what? At the cost
Absolutely.
of what? So this is the question the consumer has to really ask, that the cost of a cheaper grocery is your health.
Yes.
You are losing your body, you're losing your health, you're losing your mental peace, and you're losing your time with the families. So this is what the consumer has to really understand. And at least I think not even our times, our parents' time and our grandparents' time, these issues were not there,
Mm.
that we had not gone through the industrialization at that point in time. But right now, we are at a stage where there has been 200 years of industrialization, and the impact of it, we are paying price for it. And now there are a lot of warriors, eco warriors, like the organic farmers, who have stepped up to reverse the effect of the industrialization. And for that, we have to pay the price. We don't have a choice.
Yeah.
And that is where I think organic, and like I explained, step by step, the challenges what a organic farmer goes through
Mm.
in terms of the cost of compliance, the record keeping, the labor management, the pest management, the yield not being up to the mark, and then there's no market, the managing the market demand and supply. So there are various factors which play a role in bringing that organic produce to the consumers, and that is where it is expensive, but it's worthy expense, which you will be
Absolutely.
probably investing in your life. So yeah,
Yeah, I think now our priorities where we put our money in should definitely be on health. That is the biggest. I
absolutely.
mean, even the technology is improving. I think there are more diseases and more unknown, complicated issues, which is slowly
Yeah,
probably putting us in more discomfort. It's not like
absolutely.
very toxic, you are hospitalized, but it's like you are every day experiencing small problems, which is slowly
Absolutely.
making you I mean, probably not that productive or
Absolutely.
yeah. So
And you don't even realize, right, Pallavi, what happens is, I think there are at times you don't even know why is this happening.
yeah, exactly.
The autoimmune condition has become so common these
So
days.
common.
It's
Yeah.
become a common word.
I mean,
And
I mean, it's not that I'm very young, but still, I have so many autoimmune conditions like
yeah,
thyroid and knee problems. The
yeah.
doctor is also surprised, like, at this age, why do you have knee problem? Even I don't know why do I have knee problem.
So autoimmune is basically where your body is taking steps on its own to
Hmm.
protect itself, right?
Yeah.
And it's like part by part, it is attacking a particular area where it feels threat, right?
Yes. Yes.
And you don't know what is causing that.
And
And
exactly.
this is where it is very important for the consumer to wake up and understand. You
Hmm.
cannot say you don't know, but you need to take control of
Yes.
you what it is. And one of the most important factor for a body is the food, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It is the food that you're consuming which is playing up
Yes.
and
True.
which is triggering this autoimmune, which is where you need to take control and ensure that what you are feeding your body is cleaner and not triggering the autoimmune. So that
Exactly.
is where it is
Yeah.
very critical.
To be functional, I think it's very important to invest in the right things.
Absolutely,
I mean,
absolutely.
this
So
at
I
least
think,
in this age, that is so important.
yeah. So I
Mm.
think that the fact that at a very early age these days, people are experiencing obesity, lethargy, loss of memory, and
Yes, yeah,
allergies, and the skin conditions and whatnot, right? So, and
absolutely.
in addition to the bad eating habits, the quality of the food is also affecting
Yes,
people's lives.
exactly.
Which
Yeah.
one, firstly, it is very hard to bring that discipline and that habit to eat healthy if
Yes.
you're too lazy to follow that. That is one thing. That's one challenge. And in addition to that, the quality of food is what you're eating is also contributing to it. So
Yes.
you're fighting a double-edged sword. So you really need to work on ensuring that you're disciplined enough, as well as you make sure that the sourcing of your product is correct. You have to do
Exactly.
it. Otherwise,
Yes.
you'll not be able to live healthy. Very
Yeah,
simple.
yeah, true. And it's not that we cannot afford organic food, it's just that our priorities have to shift to the right places. What advice would you give to consumers who are new to organic products and want to
Mm.
make informed choices? And they want
Yeah.
to start, but then because they have this mindset and they're comparing the prices, it feels a bit daunting that, oh, I have to pay so much more for organic, so I can't afford it. Yeah, so that I have seen that hurdle is always there. So yeah, what would you like to advise to?
I think for me, the first advice or the first point of pondering would
Hmm.
be your body is your first home. You may
Yes.
be living in any particular home, but your body is your first home. Nurture it, take care of it, invest in it. If you are not going to take care of your own health, your body, where you live, you will not be able to move an inch or do anything productively, even for the people you love.
Yes.
Very so please put your body first. Put your first home first. So treat your body as your first home, exactly the way you would want to take care of your environment. You're decorating your home, you're decorating the
Yes.
corners of your home, you're ensuring that you get the best car to move around, you're ensuring that you get to have a great entertainment, watching movies, going for holiday destinations. You are planning everything around it, and you are actually budgeting for it, right? That you are able to experience all this in your life.
Yeah.
Please budget for your first home. That's your body. Very, very important. If you don't have that good budget for your first home, you're going to be in trouble. And it may be short lived. All these
Hmm.
experiences which you're planning, all these beautiful memories that you want to build, all the beautiful environment that you want to create may be short lived. It may
Yeah.
not be long. So, first advice is that. Secondly, to give practical advice, I think look at the labels. Labels definitely play a role in ensuring that it is organic. Definitely look at the labels, because if a particular certification has been imposed on the label,
Yeah.
companies have to go through that rigor. They have to go through
Hmm.
it. So go through the labels. In addition to the labels, for me, especially when I come to choosing my suppliers, choosing the people I work with, for me, one very important factor is what is the purpose? What
Yeah.
is really driving them to do this? What is their vision? What is it? Why is it that they are putting their time and money and effort in this? Just know your source very well. Know the people who you are sourcing from very well. Understand their intention, understand the vibes. I think that is a very important criteria when it comes to buying any organic product, in addition to the certification and the labels that you'll find on the packet.
Yeah.
So that is one another important advice. And look beyond the budget. Look at the benefits that you will get out of investing in yourself. You are ready to pay insurance premium for your life insurance, which is a very unpredictable
Yes.
scenario, right?
Yes. Yeah.
You are ready to pay insurance premium for your car. You are ready to pay installment for your home. Treat the grocery bill as your insurance premium for your health,
Absolutely.
for
That's
your
a great
family.
analogy. Yeah.
So it's like the treat the grocery bill as an investment. It's like a
Hmm.
monthly EMI you are paying for maintaining your first home, your body. That's how I would like people to look at the organic grocery as. And I'm not saying that you may be able to afford it overnight.
Mm.
Plan your finances well. Like you definitely, everybody has a budget,
Yeah.
right? So this
Yeah.
much is going to be for the holiday, this much is going to be for my India travel, this is going to be for my EMI, the home EMI, this is going to be for the car. Create a separate section. Literally create a section in your budget. This much is going to be for my food, for my exercise, for my trainer, maybe,
Mm.
like have that,
Yeah.
and for my grocery bill, have that budget, assign that budget, and start small, take smaller steps, right? You don't need to immediately buy all organic, and practically also, Pallavi, everything is not organically available at this
Yeah, it's
point.
not available. Yeah, you're
not
right.
not everything is available. That's a
Available.
reality. That's a hard fact of our lives.
Yes,
So
true.
start small. Look at your key staples. What do you eat in a day? Majorly, what do you eat in a day? Make that organic. Like if you may not be able to have 100% benefit, at least 80% benefit will come, and that 80% is going to help you manage the 20% what negative impact may have from the external factors. This
Yes.
80% is going to make you stronger, help you build better immunity, help you build better gut health, right? Help you build better strength and stamina to face the other toxic environmental influences that you may have in your body. So now start small, start picking up your basic staples, start with that. So I think, like I said, most important part is to treat this as an investment
Yes.
and not an expense. And even when you're going and eating out, even when you're buying the grocery, remember this is your first home and make sure you're choosing right things for it. So this is, I think, to give very practical steps, please create a column in your budget, in your Excel sheet.
So well
Just create
said.
it.
That's great. That's
Just
great
create it,
advice. Yeah.
and just put that money there and see how much percentage you're talking about. How much will you eat in a day? It's
Yeah.
not, in fact, the home costs in millions, right?
Yes. And I
Your
think
grocery,
even the amount of wastage people have, food wastage,
yeah,
if you
yeah.
stop that wastage, you will actually save money and that can be put to,
Absolutely. Plan
organic
it
food.
better. And look at it like this. When you're paying rent or when you're
Hmm.
paying for your whole home EMI, you're paying in millions.
Yes,
Whereas when it comes to your food grocery bill, it's in few thousands. Few
absolutely.
thousands. When you're planning your budget and you're ready to plan your millions, pay attention to the few thousands, which is going to help you accumulate many more millions for a
Absolutely. Yeah.
longer period of time because you have health in hand. You
Yes,
know, the
true.
moment you have your health in hand, the millions which you have planned to make, if you have planned to make ten times, you may end up making 100 times because your health is with you. And
Mm.
that requires only a few thousands of expenditure and not in
Exactly.
billions. So I
True.
think this is a very important factor which I think consumers have to really see. And
Yes.
apart from that, I think like
And
try
I
to,
was going to ask you actually, how does Roots Organics ensure the integrity and authenticity of the organic products you offer? But I think throughout the conversation, you made it very
yeah,
clear that it is your values and you see
yeah.
the passion in your. But yeah, if you want to just sum it up, I guess.
Yeah, no, I think very simple, right? So I think for me, like I've said, for me, it's always been people purpose over the actual certifications or the authorities or what are the processes and all that.
Right.
So for me, the most important criteria and factor is who am I working with. So I have had people approaching me saying that, okay, this is all organic, this we are doing this, we are using this. I ask specific questions. I have my own set of questions which I, impose on them.
Yeah.
And with the answers, I can clearly make out
Ah,
whether they are really speaking the truth or they're not speaking the truth. It's
ah,
very, very easy for me because I think when you are very clear in your mind and your thought, what you really want, it
yes.
really helps you filter out the right people, right? So yeah,
Absolutely.
so that's for me one of the most important criteria is the people and the purpose. Of course, second comes the certifications and
Yes.
the things. And third important factor, Pallavi, is that we go and meet them personally regularly. We go
I've seen many
and
videos you put up where,
yeah, so they're all fabricated because I'm not a video content creator. Like I cannot really create stories and stories. And like I said, when you have
yes,
so many things to do,
do.
you can only spend time doing the most important things. So you perhaps see very fabricated videos. Like sometimes they pop up, sometimes they don't pop up. But I mean, that's how it is. That is how I can really do. But then we
Yeah.
do go spend time with them. We share the best practices, and when we
Nice.
literally interact with them, check what's happening, and look at the reports, look at the logs, the
Mm.
FPOs, the main people who are actually taking care of it. They show us the log, they show us the certifications, they show us when the audit happened, and the various authorities. Now we are also familiar with the authorities, the certifying bodies, because we have been in this industry for such a long time. So we are also familiar with the certifying bodies as to what are the different checks that they carry out. So we do a lot of these checks personally. Most importantly, like the first point that I said, the taste and the feel of it itself speaks. The product speaks for itself. The quality speaks for itself. And the moment that happens, and you're sorted. So I think that's how we at Rootz Organics ensure that we are always putting people and purpose first before the commercial gain that comes. Of course, you have to be commercially
Of
viable
course. Yeah.
in order to operate, in order to sustain, in order to really have a bigger impact. You have to be commercially viable.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if the only criteria, which many food vendors do, but like for them, it is just about, oh, there's a
Profits.
requirement for volume of products. I'm just going to bring it and dump it here for whatever best price I'm going to get, and that's it. So yeah, that is not for us. For we are talking about value, and we are talking about bringing that sorted, chosen products for our consumers. And if there's a price for it, there is a price for it. So I mean,
Absolutely.
you must have also seen we are not somebody who are running discounts and discounts and offers and offers.
Yes. Yeah.
We can't afford to do that. We really
Actually.
can't afford to do that. It
I
is
think no sustainable, truly sustainable business can afford to give these
yeah,
discounts and all because,
yeah, it
as you
is
said,
practically
you
not
support
possible.
people, planet, and profit, and these are the three
Yeah,
pillars of sustainability. So
absolutely.
it has
So
to be take into account the people who are
yeah,
working throughout the
yeah,
supply chain, and
yeah,
also taking care of the planet, environment,
yeah.
and of course,
And
as a business, you have to be
we have
financially
to be absolute.
be viable. Yeah.
And I think we have to appreciate the time and effort which is going
Yes.
in bringing the most authentic product to you. There
Yes.
is
True.
effort involved. There is
Absolutely.
so I think the another piece of advice for the consumers and the customers who are thinking about organic is think about it in a bigger picture, right? It's not only going to contribute to your health, for
Yes.
your healthier generation. You will be able to bring up healthier kids, healthier families,
Yeah.
which in turn will contribute to a better economy, which in turn
Ex
will contribute to a better environment. And the moment you have a much more safer and a better environment, you'll be able to thrive better.
Yeah.
Very simple. It's like a chain, right? So it's very,
Absolutely.
very simple. So, and I think to come down to the basic budgeting in the families when they're doing, look at this as an investment. Food is an investment.
Yes.
Food is not a commodity. Food is life. Make
Absolutely.
sure you invest in your life, in your food, so that you are able to live longer, do many more things, and actually contribute to a better world. So
Exactly.
that's
And
what I would say.
the ultimate effect of climate change is food. We are going to run out of
Absolutely.
food shortage. So if we don't support organic farming, there is a saying in Hindi that apne hi pair pe kulhadi maar li. So, we are putting ourselves into trouble by not
Absolutely.
supporting what is required to safeguard the environment and our health. And
Yeah.
exactly. So, for
I
as you
think,
said, for our kids, if there is no food left, just imagine
yeah.
that would be such a uh,
Yeah. And you would want your children to live healthy. You would
healthy.
want your
Exactly.
children
Yeah.
to live longer. I mean,
Yes.
how many people are plagued with PCOS?
Yes, I know.
Mental health, mental issues, feelings of loneliness. Like
Yeah.
food is having an effect. Like there is a proven record, Pallavi, that sugar plays with your neurons,
Mm,
plays with your nervous system, plays with your brain cells. Literally, it does, right? Please pay attention. So already sugar is rampant everywhere. It has taken
all
over
the
the world.
processed food. Yeah. I
All
mean,
the processed
it's
food
not in the
and
form of sugar, but
exactly.
yeah.
All the processed food has heavy sugar in it, right? So
Yes.
sugar is already a big major problem in everybody's life. In addition to that, if you are going to feed toxins, chemicals, pesticides, GMOs, the growth hormones, if you're not going to pay attention to your staple,
Yeah.
How will you fight this big monster called sugar? How will you fight it? If you're not going to work on your immunity, if you're not going to work on your gut health, if you're not going to work on strengthening your body and mind, how
Hmm.
will you fight this sugar? I mean, I have my own children, they crave for cake. They
Yes.
crave for a lot of treats, which, but
Yeah.
you have to constantly educate them and
Mm.
become an example. You have to create that environment. You
True.
have to lead by examples. You have to make sure that you are putting an effort to cook the right things in your home and educate the children. Because in young age, you will not feel the impact of it so easily. It
Yes.
is only when you are hitting your 30s and the 40s you're going to really suffer if you're not going to take charge of it now. And it's very important for parents to be aware of this particular fact,
Yeah.
that to educate children that they need to start taking care of themselves from the age of 13, 14, 15,
Yes.
and not from 30, 35, 40, when probably it's already too late,
I am
right?
an example.
Yeah, so it is very, very important for every parent, every
Yes.
individual to pay attention to this fact and start investing in the right things and live by the example.
Yeah.
Become
True.
an example. So I think, and where do you learn all this budgeting from? Where do you learn all these practices from? Where do you learn, how do you develop the habits in life? From
Yes.
home, right? So it's very important for to come to talk specifically about organic food and organic living. I think it is very important, very critical that every individual, every household starts taking steps to
Yes.
incorporate this as one of the most important lifestyle
Yes.
in their budget, in their discussions, in their evening talks, in their family time, to make sure that this becomes one of the most important knowledge to be imparted to the children, that they need to eat right, live right, and that is when they'll be able to live longer. And
Exactly.
also
And
that,
healthy.
and healthy. And another very important factor is that when your gene is stronger, when your
Mm.
gene is healthier, you'll be able to produce healthier generations.
Mm.
Another thing, very important thing that's happening is the generations are depleting. The gene is
Yes.
depleting. So
Yeah.
a very healthy parent is giving birth to a autistic child. A very
Okay.
healthy parent is giving birth to a speech impaired child,
Yeah.
right? And kids are not able
Okay.
to reach the milestones as early, as regularly as has been laid out by the
Mm.
medical authorities.
Yes. Records.
That
Yeah.
is not happening. Why is it? Why is all this happening?
Yes.
Because there is an impact on the gene of your
Mm.
children. And if they are not going to take charge, it's going to further deplete your future generation. So would you want that to happen? You
Absolutely.
don't want that to happen. So it's very, very critical and important that people bring organic food into their lives as a must have. You
Yes.
have a lot of these must have t-shirts. You have a lot of must have like basic
Yeah.
necessities. So
Yeah.
cars have become a must have. Home has
Yes.
become a must have. Having an expensive bag has become a must have. Having a best makeup has become a must have. One of the very important must have. In addition to all these very must haves, having organic food is a must have. I think this is very important for people to start becoming aware and incorporating, and it has to become like a, you have to do it. So that's,
Absolutely.
and it is going to help you, your children, your future generation. You want to
Exactly.
see your children thriving and not being dependent on others, and for them to live
True.
healthy and happy. So it's very, very important. So
Very true. And
this is the one thing which I would like to tell people. So another,
that's
I would
so,
like to just
yeah.
summarize: treat organic grocery as a insurance premium for your health. A
That is
very natural
very well
insurance
said.
premium for your health. Simple. Just look at it like that. Just pay it with absolute faith and see how the benefits will come about, and you'll appreciate that.
Absolutely. That's so well said. Very nice. Treat organic food as your insurance premium.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think I missed out on one very important factor.
Sure, sure. Please.
Yeah, so while I'm very passionate about building healthier families and healthier children, especially for me, building healthy children is so important because I really want to see every child growing up to become a very bright child and contributing to a better world, and not just 1 or 2%, right? So I really feel very, very passionate about that. But I think in addition to that, I think what we are losing in the environment are the most important bee pollinators. We are losing the
Yes.
bees, the
So
environment.
important. Yeah.
Most important, we are losing them, and we are losing the essential insects, essential microorganisms that enrich the soil and which promote healthier plants, trees, which in
Yes.
turn create more oxygen in the environment. I think that is another very important factor which we are losing, and organic farming really contributes to that environment, that wildlife which is required for building a healthier environment which is rich in oxygen, which is going to really
Biodiversity is retained.
yeah, which promotes the biodiversity, which enables microbial activity underground, and which in turn will act as a healthy, comfortable cocoon for us to live in a very nice way. So that's another very important factor. So yeah, I mean, organic farming has multiple benefits, and we feel very blessed that we are one of the promoters of organic living, and we have managed to create this platform where every single product is handpicked, checked, ensuring that whatever comes to our platform is something which is adding value to the
Yes.
families, not causing any harm. So that is one very important thing
So
which I
if
think
people
is
have to
very
find
important.
you, where can they find you? I'll definitely link it in the show notes, but if you could
Yeah.
just mention.
Yeah, I think main is our platform, our e-commerce platform. So another very important thing is that when you're shopping on our platform, you will not feel confused. You'll feel
Ah,
empowered.
yes,
You'll
yes.
definitely feel empowered because whatever checks have to be done, whatever tests you have to do to ensure that what is coming on your plate is healthy, we have already done that. That first
Yeah.
level of testing we have already done. So feel very confident. You'll find us at www.rootsorganics.com. It is ROOTZ
Yeah.
organics.com. And in India, it is www.rootsorganics.in. So that is the India platform. So yeah, so every single product comes with its own story, with its own purpose. So be rest assured that we are doing our best to bring the best to you. But it's very
Awesome.
important that you put your mind to it and you grab it.
Yeah,
So
true, true. So in India, do you deliver all over India or
plan India.
pan India?
We do plan
Amazing.
India that ways. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. It was such a pleasure talking to you, and I have understood so much about organic farming and their struggles with certifications and the effort they need to put into really growing this food for us. We
Yeah.
need to be very grateful to all the farmers and support them. And yeah, thank you so much for the
Yes, that will be
one.
really great. I mean, supporting organic farmers is the best
Yes.
investment and contribution you can do in your own way.
Yeah,
You would
for our own
just
future, I guess. If we don't
for
want to
your own
support them,
future,
it's for our own future. Please
for
support.
your own future. Just pay attention to what's happening and take
Yeah,
charge, take
yes,
control of it. That's what I would say.
absolutely.
Thank you, Pallavi, for having me on the show. It's
It was a
really nice.
pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.